So in this episode of Tank Life, we're going to be taking a look at my 55-gallon outdoor tank. Now, I have two Mayan Cichlids in here, the larger of which I pulled out of the canal several years ago as a very, very small baby. And I have a slightly smaller one that I added recently within the last couple of weeks after a fishing trip. Now, curiously, when I first put this one in, my resident cichlid, who's used to living by itself, is very territorial and aggressive, so of course it started nipping his fins, and I worried that the smaller cichlid was not going to survive. However, I installed a pot in the corner of the tank, which is currently covered by this cloth, and I added that there as a hiding spot for the smaller fish. So he started hiding there, and I guess this allowed the fins to heal and didn't get killed. But eventually what happened is they actually paired up. By some interesting coincidence, they are actually a mating pair, and now they've gone ahead and laid eggs all over the pot, which is pretty interesting to me. I noticed that my fish had changed colors. Her spots got darker, and I was worried that I see this red stuff hanging off the bottom. Still not really sure what that is. Still not really sure which fish is male and which is female. I'm guessing the smaller one is the male. If you look here, I don't know if it'll come out on the camera, but this pot is actually covered in eggs, and those are cichlid eggs. I'm hoping that they were able to successfully fertilize them, and that soon I'll be able to have small fish fry all over my tank, and then eventually a bunch of baby cichlids. And I'm a little worried that my fish still has that red thing hanging from the bottom. Not really sure if that's, I don't know, a placenta, a penis. I'm not familiar with the reproduction habits of cichlids. I never thought I would manage to get my cichlids to reproduce, so I'm not really even acquainted with the manner in which they do so. I'm gonna do some reading on these guys and see what I can figure out. It's interesting that after laying eggs, my cichlid has a very different facial expression. These guys have very expressive faces, and usually my cichlid has a meaner, less friendly look, and now it has this sort of like worried, I don't know if it's a psychological thing with me, but it looks like, it's a lot more worried and intrigued by the things around it, while usually it just looks like unhappy to see you. Maybe motherhood or fatherhood, not particularly sure which, will change this fish for the better. I'm guessing my large cichlid is the female and the small one is the male.